What's up to my great people out there, man? Y'all sitting back, chilling with your boy Hood, man. And what am I doing? I'm watching some dope movies, man. You can see right now, this movie I'm watching. This actually is a movie that I watch all the time. I watch a movie on Tubi, and that movie is called. Uh, is it on? Is that one on Tubi? Wolfman. It's called Wolfman, basically. Wolfman. Benicio del Toro. That's one of the movies that I watch all the time. I almost watch the movie every single night. Sometimes it be on different networks. It might be on Netflix, might be on Prime, might be on Tubi. But I watch that movie all the time. It came out maybe over 2010, 2014, something like that. But it's just a good movie, and it's a period movie. It takes place over time, like, back in the days in London, and it's about the Wolfman. And the Wolfman story has been something I watched as a kid because my father was into movies. Obviously, I'm a filmmaker. He took us to all the movies. So he was into all the movies, the Frankensteins and stuff like that. So even though you don't really see these movies like that today, a lot of people shoot movies in every other kind of element. You don't necessarily see the Frankenstein or those movies. I still am a fan of them. So I watch those movies. And the movies that come on Tubi sometimes are very good to me. Um, I watched one called Please recently. It's about an Asian girl who was dating black dudes, but then she went out and started killing each one by one. There's another one that's called like Affliction and like Misery, but it's some word the affliction is in the storyline title. And you should see this movie. It's good. It's like that movie Misery, but it's a black version. And it ultimately ends up where the girl starts killing up the guy who he's cheated. He's a cheater. So some of these movies is just really good. So as a black filmmaker and a person that's been making movies since my 20s, there's not a lot of outlets for your product to go. So we, in my practice, we do direct to consumer. We sell it ourselves. So we basically make the movie, and then we go to the specific people and we sell it directly to them. It's not like you go to someone else to get your product off, and by doing that you make the money. But also, it still limits the amount of people who could see your work because you can't meet every person in the world. Hence the internet, hence streaming platforms. But these streaming platforms are not owned by black people, so therefore you're going to run into these problems of getting them on their platforms, what prices they charge you, what's it's a route or a streamline that you got to follow to get your stuff on these platforms. And if you don't do that, your product won't get on these platforms. So with me as being a creative, I'm at the position and point where I want to have my own platform. I don't want to have to go there and follow their rules or follow their routes to do this stuff and whatever they asking for these platforms. I don't want to have to go kiss their ass. So I'll make my own platform under the word Hood Films because that's what my brand. That's what I own, and I own it all around the world. Nobody else owns that brand but me. My actual last name is Hood, so that's why I actually wanted that brand. My filmmaking hero was Lucas, George Lucas. So he had Lucasfilm. So that's what made me want to call it Hood Film. Obviously, that was a good idea for me because now the brand is worth a lot of money and I'm grateful. But the most important part of it is having it where the people can see the work. Whereas I don't have to necessarily do it all myself or meet the people one by one, which is a lot of times what we're doing currently. That's just one of the ways that we get our product out there. But in order to merchandise and do everything else, we had to have the internet and streaming platforms to connect it. But we don't want to just have that be the monolith. Whereas if it goes on Netflix, then it dies after Netflix, or it goes on Netflix, then it goes to Prime, and then it dies. Then if it goes on Netflix, Prime, then it goes on Tubi, and then it dies. We also wanted to land on our platform, which is Hood Films, and it'll live forever. So that's my journey for 2015, for 2024, is to get my brand on the actual platform, my brand built as a platform so people could come here and watch my stuff, watch films on my platform, and also help me with advertising. We're going to build our own Tubi. Obviously, we don't have the money that Tubi has to create something so fast and pay filmmakers to give their films to them. But we appreciate Tubi because Tubi is a landing platform for artists to get their work out there. You can't find black films nowhere around the world. It's just not like that in America. Even today, 2024, you still can't find black films. But at Tubi, Not only can you find them, you can watch them, you critique them, you can see the names of the people involved. It's really one of the best places to see anything black because Netflix is going to have a limit on what they're going to put up. Prime is going to have a limit on what they want to put up. But Tubi has had like this wave of just black films coming through the walls. And so you can see stuff like Afghanistan, which is a movie that came out of Memphis. And these things are intriguing, importantly, because just like black people are the ones who invent everything. So right now, Hollywood is just basically not a place for blacks. It has never been. So where now Tubi, whereas it's not necessarily Hollywood, it's an element of Hollywood. It's an extension. I could see other people work from Hollywood that's on there, so it don't matter what movie is on there. A movie was just on Netflix two weeks ago, Legend of Tarzan. Last night they just announced, not announced, it's literally on there now. Legend of Tarzan is on Tubi. You talking about 3 weeks, a month? The transition from it being coming out on not that it was released on Netflix, but it was a movie from the past, but they put it out on Netflix with this big, ooh, look forward to seeing this, and then boom, it goes off of Netflix within a month or two, and now it's on Tubi. So every movie that's ever made is going to make it to Tubi. It don't matter what it is because that's a distribution platform. So it doesn't matter what kind of style of a movie it is, even cartoons, Asian films, you name it, foreign films, they're going to get on there because it's a distribution platform. So any kind of movie that you want to see, you can watch it on there, and it's free. And one of the most important reasons that I got off of Tubi to do this video is because I like the fact that Tubi continues to play videos. So you'll sit there and be watching a video, and it'll go off a movie, and you may even doze off or something like that, or even walk out the room, and then you come back as a whole nother movie playing. Sometimes you might not have a chance to go change the TV or whatever you're thinking. You might hear this movie playing or watching it a few minutes and it'd be intriguing. Like, that, what is this movie? And you actually probably have to stop it and actually see what the heck is the title of this story. But another movie has played, and then it'll play again, and then it'll play again, another movie. It stops after a while. It won't play it continuously for 24 hours. It'll probably, stop or disconnect or something like that. But the whole thing is that no other platform does that. The other platforms stop it, then you have to go and put another movie in there. So Tubi has a lot of elements to it that makes it, to me, the premier platform. I like it better than I like the Netflix and I like the Amazons because the Netflix and Amazons are too whitewashed. It's just too whitewashed. And when you see black people, they're Africans. It's not even black Americans. And we the ones who create all this culture and create all this entertainment and entities that these people take and make money from. So it's like, why am I watching movies on Netflix that's about Africans? Why am I watching Prime movies that's about somebody else but real black people like us? The people who create the fucking culture that everybody suck from and utilize and then act like it's theirs. Even the rights that the people utilize today, they act like it's theirs or they act like they're supposed to get it and tell black people, yeah, take a back seat. I mean, we look at our little kids or our children that do that. It's comical. But the reality of it is that we can see it and you can tell, we know what's going on. It's other avenues to watch movies. Like you got F movies or 1, 2, 3 movies. These are our streaming platforms on the internet. They almost play just like bootleg movies. Sometimes you'll see a movie that you haven't seen before, or it's movies that you want to see, and they'll release there first. They might not even be the best quality, but they'll be there first. You can call them like torrent movie sites, bootleg streaming platforms, whatever. But my point about it is that it's not just one level no more, where it's just this one people that's making movies in Hollywood, and that's the only way to get movies. And so, whereas a filmmaker as myself, I don't want to have to follow their rules and follow their routes and whatever they're saying you have to do to get your film on their platforms. That's, to me, is dumb. Because if I created this, who the hell are you? Like, who are you? And then why aren't you doing that to come through me to get your stuff out? Like, you don't come through me. You don't come through anything I created to see if it's going to get out to the world. So what gives you this dominion that I have to come to your platform to put my film out? That is dumb. I wouldn't give a damn if you knew all 8 billion people on planet Earth. All it takes somebody like me, because I'm black, is to go do what I do, and the 8 billion people going to come holler at me the same way. If you even actually have that, because most of these people use fake numbers and fake lines and fake information. It don't even be real, you know what I'm saying, numbers and all that stuff, and you find that out down the line. But you probably been scammed into some kind of deal that they got because they got fake numbers. So that's why you have to really know the game and understand the game of streaming, of movie making and entertainment in order to do it yourself. And that is the advice of any creative. Learn this stuff. Learn the behind the scenes of all this stuff. The business part is the longest word in show business, as I've been told, or as I've heard. I want you guys to do the same thing that I do. Get your platforms going. Get your movie platforms out here to the world. Stream your own stuff. Get it out here. You don't have to follow these platforms. They clowns. They lames. They nobody important. They just got money. Big deal. You got you. You got the world. The world is everybody's oysters, and nobody got control over the world. Nobody got control over voice. Nobody got control over your thought. So all you have to do is think it, go create it, and make it. I already told you my platform, Hood Films, is going to be out here. You're going to be seeing streaming directly from my own platform called Hood Films. How do I know that? Because I just put it out in the universe, and all I got to do is take the steps to bring that to life. I already got the name, I already got the films. So now it's next time is just go to some place like Fiverr or one of these places to get one of these people to actually build out the actual channel. And then we go out to the world and get the advertisers. It's not as hard as you think. It's mostly easy, but the process is first you got to try. You got to give it the gusto to go do it. I know that it'll be a dope platform called Hood Films. You know how I know that? Because people are already watching Hood Films. They just go to other platforms to watch it. You'll watch a Hood film on Tubi. You'll watch a Hood film on streaming platforms like Amazon. But you won't really know about a Hood film platform called Hood Films. And there's also other people who has done something regarding this, like Trapflix. I don't know if they have a streaming platform, but I know that that's an actual brand. I don't know if he sold it. He could have sold that brand. But at the end of the day, it existed, and they had its own movies that they came out with. I know it was an app as well, but I don't know how far else they went from there. But those guys gave me the incentive and the idea that you can do it yourself for our own platform. We way less money, we way less big and all that stuff. This is like a mom and pop stores, but we gonna be so much bigger. It's not even a question. I already know it because we already started the thing. The thing been going for 20 something years. So we just keeping up with the technology as it's progressing. We progressing, and we stand on that. You know what I'm saying? So watch Tubi. I love Tubi. I want to see black movies. You know, when I was a kid, they had a movie called Stepfather that came out. It was like in the 80s. It was so fucking good. We was kids watching it. Eventually, it started coming on TV. You know, it was a VCR, VHS at that point. But eventually, it started being on TV. So every time it came out, we watched it. It was a movie called Stepfather. The dad uh, was a guy who met women, and after a while, he killed them. And then he went to a new family. Well, growing up in my household, we didn't have a stepfather. We had my actual dad. So that was intriguing. Like, dang, what is a stepdad like? What was a stepdad? And then this movie came out with Stepfather 2. And then I think it was a Stepfather 3, but I was way older. So uh, that movie has been remade by another filmmaker called Chris Stokes. Chris Stokes is like known for doing Marcus Houston and having B2K and all that stuff, and he had some bad rumors come out about him too. But he actually is a filmmaker, and he is continually making films. He's done Stepfather. He's done like a bunch of other little friend movies and stuff like that. That's on Tubi, and it's almost like this platform for creatives to make sure your films are getting out to the people. So for Chris Stokes to be like a behind the scenes guy, you really never see his face. You don't know him, but you know his name. Now he got like 8, 9 movies that's been hitting that platform, and other people who I know personally who got films that's been going out do a distribution company called Maverick. Maverick has been doing movies for like 25 years. One of my first films that I was a part of, they actually sold to Maverick in maybe like 2001, 2002. So it's been a lot of years that Maverick has been around, and they still buying up films and put them out. So that is a way to get your films out there if you don't have a distribution platform. You make it about 75 minutes or more of your movie, and they'll take it. And then they're not going to concern themselves so much about if it got major actors in it or if you use a specific camera. Places like Netflix, they want you to use specific cameras and stuff like that. I'm sure they'll take something in that don't have those parameters and requirements. But the idea is that That's what they have requirements that you have to live up to in order for your stuff to get on their platform. So, it's up to you which route you want to take. All that stuff is up to you as an artist. I'm not really one who follow all those rules. I don't kiss ass. I don't be up in their face and do all that shit. I'm completely independent to the level you couldn't even understand. 1 billion% independent. So I create everything myself. I even act in it, and I put it out myself, and I put all the money up. So everything that come through the process come through me because it's my creation. It's just like making a song. I'm not gonna go to somebody else and say write these lyrics for me necessarily. I would go to create it myself. The longer you do stuff, the more you get better at that. You know what I'm saying? So I've been doing it for a lot of years. So I know my new movie is going to be better than last movie because I'm just as good as that. So, I watch Tubi. I'm a fan of Tubi. I know everybody watches Tubi. And I hope it stay around. I hope it stays around because it's motivation to be an artist, to be a creative, to have your stuff out there so the world can see it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just really one of those dope moments in filmmaking right now to get your film out there. And some people might look down on Tubi, and that's the world. I mean, some people don't smoke. Some people don't drive cars. Some people don't fucking jump high. Some people don't work out. I mean, well, who the fuck cares who don't like Tubi or who do? Like, who the fuck cares? That's not even important. Some people don't like Sundays. Some people don't like Tuesdays. Who the fuck cares? Like, it's 1,000 people, billions of people with likes and wants and needs, and you can't concern yourself with that. If it benefits you, if it puts you in the right framework, if it can build up what you got going, what the fuck else matters? You know what I'm saying? So I know what Tubi is as a creative and as a person who's been in the industry prior to Tubi's. And people like me are locked out. There is no way to get your film out. You can shoot that shit all you want to. You put it on YouTube and you better pay for advertisement. But in filmmaking, your movie could be better than your pocketbook. Your story could be better than how much money you got for advertisement. Your your encapsulated whole film, that when someone watch it, they can be moved to the part where the money will be rushing into you. It's all about your story. It's all about putting it out there. Sometimes people have great stories but can't get them done. An artist like me, I think of stories daily, but can't shoot every single one of them. So the process of getting that film done and getting it on these platforms, that's a feat in its own right. So having a platform that gives you a standing stone, a stepping stone, a way to at least start, that right there is key because every artist need a way to get something out there so people can see that they're at least trying. And if nothing else, is a proof of concept. Like the idea that you thought of, this love story or this thriller, this cop story, at least it's a proof of concept that you can actually prove that you thought of this and then you created it. So all this stuff is key, man. So I say Tubi, it should be here to stay. It's a very critical part of filmmaking right now for it to be around. It's motivated me to get my platform. I've seen other people with their own platforms now. So you stay tuned. You keep rocking with HoodFilms, and we're going to have this new platform up here. We're going to have new movies on Tubi. Y'all let me know if you watch Tubi. What's the best movie you've seen on Tubi? If you think Tubi should be here. If you hate Tubi. Either way, I'm interested in your conversation. Let's talk about it. Hit me in the comment section, like and subscribe, and let's get going.